Hey guys, welcome back. Today I want to go over a race that we went to this past weekend. It was Shawn I's Nick's Backwoods No Prep, and the race was at Battlefield Drag Strip in Collinsville, Mississippi. You can go on Facebook and find Shawn and Battlefield and follow their pages for upcoming events and races. So leading up to this race, we have switched over to ladder bars. We've got new shocks in the back. We had been doing some testing and we hadn't quite figured the ladder bars out. So the weekend before, we went down to Battlefield and did testing on prep, and we made 5 passes, and I'll show you the last 2 where the car starts to come around on prep. We entered in a 28 shootout and won that. We only had to go 2 rounds, so I'll show you those. And then the following weekend, we went to this past weekend. On Friday, we went down to test and broke the transmission. We got up Saturday morning, swapped the transmission out, and went back down and raced and made it to the finals and blew the high gear out of the transmission. So that's what happened. And I'll go through all those logs with y'all, and we'll just get right into it. So this was a pretty good pass for us with what we had been doing. I had put a ramp in, and there was a guy there, John Perkins, that was kind of looking at our videos and give us some pointers on which way to take the shocks and everything. So let's look at the log and we'll see how that shakes out. So here, let's add one more thing. Lunch timer. Oh, this is kind of hard to see. This pink or purple line, whatever this line is right here, this is where I let go of the trans brake. And it's about 4,000 RPM. It's hovering around 38, 4,000. I think the config is set to 4,000. And the boost, it's about 10. So 4,010 is happy. And then you see I've got a little bit of a ramp right here, this light blue ramp. That's just to get us out. And you can see here the green line is the rear wheel speed right through here. And you can see that it's still spinning. So the yellow is the front wheel speed and the green is the rear wheel speed. And it's still a mess, even just ramping in the boost this way. But we were able to get through there. And we got the win and went on to the second round or the finals. I think the only thing that we had really tweaked with too much in this was the shocks and the tires. And the tires, we went down to 13, and I think we were going up to 13 and a half or so. And we were tightening up the shocks at this point as well. So that was a pretty good pass. We had shortened the ramp up. You can see here the blue line is a little shorter than it was in the last video. We still spun pretty good. You can see here in this green, it's kind of waving around. But that's really all we needed. And I never saw that car. I don't know where he was at. I don't know how far back he was. But overall, we were pretty happy with how the testing was going with this compared to what we had been before. And this was our last test pass before coming into, this is the last test pass of the weekend. And then we had the week off. And then we came back Friday, which you'll see next.
And here we go, here we go. Red car just made a lick. Something happened with Nick.
So now we're on no prep. They've scraped the track, they've washed the track, and what we did was we took 4 clicks of rebound out of the front and 4 clicks of rebound out of the back, and we took the tires from 13.5 to 10. We didn't change any of the ramp or anything from the last pass. We didn't touch any of the tune-up. And you can see it pull the wheel off the ground here, which it had not done in any of the prep test sessions at all. It never pulled the wheel off the ground. So when it blew the transmission up and fell over, we were all pretty disappointed. I knew this was going to be a pass, and that was that. It just fell over. It blew up the planetaries, and that was it. So we did what any good racer will do: drive home, barely sleep at all, wake up the next morning, call your buddy over, and swap transmissions. We did all this on Saturday morning, and then drove 2 hours back down to make round 1. It was originally supposed to be at 7. I think they wound up pushing it back to 8. This transmission that we swapped in, I never run it before. I didn't know anything about it. And when we got back down there, I was just trying to test it and make sure it would get on the trans brake and bump. It wouldn't bump with the settings that we had. So I called Brooks and talked to him, and he said, man, just keep upping the time on until it bumps. And so we went from, I think, 0.010 to about 0.050. It bumped in the pit. And so we drew Luke in his Nova first round, and we made it. We made the whole transmission swap, made it back, and made first round, surprisingly. It was a good pass for us. We kept all of the same stuff from Friday night. I didn't want to touch anything. We set the tires back up the same. We didn't touch the shocks. And that pass went. I was real happy with it. You could see the car moving around. I had to set the anti-roll bar up neutral without me in it. So I think that when I can get an extra hand, that I can set it up with me in it, and hopefully we can get the car to go a little straighter. While I was at the track, after I made that pass, I came back and I looked at this log, and for the next 3 passes, I didn't look at the logs or touch the tune-up. I just kind of let the car do what it was going to do and rode, drove, and just had a good time. And I didn't look at these logs until the next day, I think. So they're kind of boring. I spin a little bit here, and I don't know, it shifts, auto shifts. This pink line, there's still a little bit of a ramp here. You can see this is the boost target, and then you can see this chunk right here. I have a boost override or a scramble button, and I must have got on it somewhere here just a little after the shift. It didn't make a whole bunch of difference, I don't think, in boost, but I had got on the button. And car run pretty good when we came back and went into round 2. We drew Michael Val. His car is called the Rainbow Warrior. I had seen it at Battlefield before, and I knew it was pretty quick. But we didn't change anything. We just left it, like I said before, we just left it the same. And I felt like where we were running at, that the car was going to be pretty tough to beat. And nothing changed. Same deal. For whatever reason, I can't keep my hand on the boost override. You see here, it picks up and then lets off, and it pretty much happens every time I get on it for some reason, then I get back off. And I don't know what the deal is with that. It looks like I might have let out here just after the shift, or right before the shift, actually. It looks like the green line, it's TPS. The car ran great. Um, it's, you can still see in the video, it moves around a little bit, but that's it. From where it was, that's pretty easy to drive through. Hopefully we can get it sorted out, but not really too much to look at here. It's just pretty smooth going in this round. So for round 3, we drew a car called Juju. I think he drove from Louisiana or South Mississippi or somewhere, and he had a big wing on there. He made it to round 3, and they said he was pretty fast, but we didn't change any of the tone up. Again, we just left it like it was and sent it, and we got the same little spin that we've had in basically all of them. We still have the same little ramp here, but this time I looked over and I saw the car next to me. And when I saw the car, I got on the override, and you can see here, for whatever reason around the shift, I get on, you click the button a couple of times, and then I see him in high gear, obviously, and I grab the override. And then I didn't see him after that. But this was definitely my favorite race. It was the closest. It was the only time that I can remember seeing another car in my side, beside me. So it was a great race. It was fast. And I talked to him afterwards, and he said anytime we want to come to the street and race, that was where they preferred to race. So we'll definitely take him up on that sometime in the future. I need to do a little testing. It's been probably a good 3 or 4 years or so since I made any good street passes. Anyhow, on to the next round. So this was the final. We drew we didn't draw Turbo Clyde. We wound up racing Turbo Clyde, which I've raced him before one time. And I think he was having trouble when I raced him before, and then I had trouble this race. So maybe sometime in the future we'll both make a clean pass. But something definitely went wrong. Bumping in, you can see Michael start working his way towards the light there. He knew something was wrong too. And I think what happened, it looks like here that we maybe are on the trans brake a little too short, or something weird happened there. But I let go here at this purple line. That's where the launch timer starts. And we've been leaving at 10 pounds and 4,000 RPM, and here we're only on 4.5 pounds of boost. So we didn't make any boost when we left. And the green line, the rear wheel speed, you can see here, it doesn't have that spin that we have in all of the other ones that makes the slicks work. So we didn't leave good, for one. Two, I don't think the shift happened right. I've got it set to shift at 7,000, and here we are at 7,700 RPM. The red is the RPM. And this gray line right here, the sawtooth looking line, you can see this is the timing. And so it pulls a big chunk out on the shift for hitting the rev limiter. I think I have the rev limiter at 7,700 or 78, something like that. And, oops, I'm messing up here. It didn't shift, or maybe it commanded the shift, but something happened with the transmission there where it wouldn't let it shift. And so I'm going for a second or so, and then you see the RPMs just go up and smash into the rev limiter. The high gear let go. So I think there was something funky going on with the transmission the whole pass from Number one, not getting up on boost fast enough. That could be because I didn't let it sit long enough. But then it not shifting here, that was messed up, and then it finally give it up down here a little ways out. And when it gave it up, Turbo Clyde was gone. He just he rocketed out of there. He was rolling. Anyhow, we ended the night pretty well. We all had a good time. We got to drive the car back on the trailer, even though high gear was gone. So that was good. And I really wanted to put us in a winner circle picture and have everybody up there because we worked so hard to get it, but it just didn't work out this time. The next race for this is a series. I missed the first two races. This is the third one. Will be August 13th and 14th. It's also at Battlefield. If y'all want to come check it out, that would be cool. I know I haven't done one of these YouTube videos in a while. I just felt like I hadn't really had too much to say. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Is it still cool, or is it maybe getting a little old? I like talking about racing and looking at these logs. So if y'all are into it, I'll just keep making them. As long as the car runs good. Car blows up, I ain't got nothing to say. Anyhow, thanks for stopping by and checking it out. Like and subscribe.